Microphone.
There we go. I'd like to call to order the City of Columbus Planning Commission for Thursday, May 11th, 2023. I believe the meeting has been posted correctly. I guess we take a roll call.
Ann Finson is excused. Finkler.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Monday.
Present.
Traxler.
Here.
And just to clarify, we only have 5 members. There are still 2 vacant positions on the Plan Commission at this time.
So we have a quorum. Notice of open meeting, I guess, is that one I asked to make sure it was posted correctly? Okay. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Number 5, approve minutes from March, what's that?
You got all in favor.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against? Thank you. So the agenda's been approved. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes for March 29th, 23.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a first and a second motion to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
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 All against? The motion carries. Number 6, citizen comments. Was there anybody signed up? All right. Number 7, unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? There is no unfinished business. So number 8, new business. 8A, review and make recommendations to council regarding the request of a conditional use permit renewal for the Airbnb at 428 South Birdsey Street. Want to give an overview?
Yeah, so this is the first conditional use permit we're doing under the new renewal ordinance. It does not require the public hearing. It does not have to go to the committee of the whole. It does not go to council. Plan Commission at their discretion can either approve or deny. If Plan Commission chooses to deny or make changes, I should have clarified that. If there are no changes being requested by the applicant or staff, you can do the renewal process, just quicker, cleaner, smoother. If the Plan Commission chooses to deny or require changes to the conditional use permit, then the applicant would have to go back and go through the entire process again. It would be the full process, the higher fee, public hearing, Plan Commission, Committee of the Whole, Council. The applicant is requesting no changes in the conditions. Staff has heard no complaints over the last year or so, reached out to the police department. They had not heard anything. At this point, staff would recommend renewing the conditional use permit. 2 of the conditions would stay the same, that there are no more than 8 paying guests may be on the property at one time, and no more than 3 vehicles, excluding vehicles owned by the owner of the property. The only change would be, rather than approve the permit for 1 year, I would recommend granting the permit to the applicant, and it would not expire until the transfer of property if the owner were to sell the property. So, and the applicant is here if she wants to say anything, or if the commission has any questions.
So the granting of the renewal, we can either do it for a year or extend it to the life of the property?
You could do it for a year, you could do it 3 years, 5 years, the life of the property, that's up to your decision.
Okay.
A quick question for you, Brandon. Are there measures in place if we noticed or we start getting complaints say we did this like we do any other conditional use permit before we started doing these renewals, as a, come back and check on, we'll see how it's going. Is there anything in place where the city's protected in case, Hannah turns it into a party house, which, like what measures does the city have in cases like that?
Kyle can correct me if I'm wrong, but if there were a certain number of complaints, I'm pretty sure the commission would have the authority to pull the conditional use permit, or at least bring the applicant in for a meeting and try to figure out what's going on, but.
Yeah, essentially, you would begin enforcement action against the conditional use permit and begin to, ramp up enforcement action and notify them of the intent to revoke or modify the conditions on the conditional use permit. Ideally, before that happened, we would be having conversations, and, the education and voluntary compliance would serve its purpose. But yeah, if it continued even after those efforts, it would turn into sort of a quasi-judicial sort of setting where you would be taking the actions and they would be contesting them potentially, and ultimately it would come down to whether or not you decided ultimately to pull that or recommend pulling that conditional use to the city council.
Thank you.
Any
Can I just-
questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, can I just share a quick update on kind of how it's been going? So I brought my guest book and also just some public reviews, so you guys can look through that really quick. So yeah, I've been open for about a year now. It's been really cool to see guests coming through and really enjoying their experience. And so I wasn't really sure as I was starting this if there'd be a lot of people coming to Columbus, since it's such a small town, but I found that a lot of my guests were working in Madison, or they were going to drop off their kids in, Watertown or different areas surrounding us as well. And so it's brought an opportunity to bring vacationers and professionals into the area as well. And so a lot of them have commented on enjoying, checking out the small businesses in town. And so I think it's been kind of a cool opportunity to introduce other people to Columbus as a whole. And so initially I was hoping to bring in, the traveling nurses. So I have had a few. I currently have a traveling nurse staying with me, but it's really been a big range of, people coming for all sorts of reasons. And so sometimes I'm renting bedrooms, other times I'm renting the entire house. And so it's worked out pretty well just with my fluid lifestyle to be able to just travel some when my house is rented for the weekend, and also get to host people in my home as well. And so, yeah, it's been a great experience. This first year I've had over 100 guests, and people really enjoy the area and just having a quiet environment. And so I post on my profile that this is my primary resident, and I care about my neighbors and the people around me. And so I check in with my neighbors regularly. They have my contact information in case something comes up, but they've all said, we haven't had any issues. It's been great. We don't even notice people are there for the most part. So I think overall it's been a good thing. And so I know there were some initial concerns, but, at least for this first year, I haven't run into the issues with the guests that I'm bringing in, just because I can, accept or deny anybody before they're able to book the home.
I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah.
But I think the original concern was about parking and just more activity on the street and those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
When your guests come, is it typically one vehicle, or are you seeing multiple vehicles?
Yeah, that's sometimes a stressor. I think I've realized I need to move away from renting 2 bedrooms at the same time, just because a lot of them are working professionals, and they have different schedules. And so, there were some nights where I'm sitting awake with one guest waiting for the other one to get home so that they can pull their car out and pull it back in. And it's just hasn't been a very enjoyable aspect of running the business. It's kind of brought some stress to my life, but I'm doing the best I can to, work with the guests, and they've been understanding and have parked in my garage and in my driveway and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of a downside of this business, but it's somewhat manageable.
Something you're working through.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions, just a comment. No, first of all, congratulations on your first year. I know some people were worried about you not having air conditioning in the house at the first meeting, so,
Yep.
it's getting hot out again, so be careful.
Yeah.
I think this is a good thing for the city. I saw that brought in taxes to the city. There's no complaints, so I would be in favor of just doing the standard renewal for or standard approval for conditional use, where it's, until the transfer of property.
Is that a motion?
Is that a motion?
Does anybody else have any comments to add?
Everything Andy said.
Okay, well, in that case, I will make a motion to approve the standard conditional use permit until with the conditions as already stated in the original conditional use permit until property is transferred.
Second.
All right, we have a first and second motion to approve the conditional use permit. All in favor, say aye.
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 All against? Motion carries. And that's a recommendation, right? No. Motion carries, it moves. Very good. All right. Being that I was late, if you want to hang out for a little bit, we can. But if you'd like to adjourn, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
All right. Nice work.
You want to help me mow?